Well, what I found worked best for me was the uplift one. Well, this really worked. It gave my mind that artistic, creative venue, and but it gave me another level, and that I was really interested in was that was the safety factor. So when I used the CBD product, I wasn't stoned.
I'm Michael Mercer, and here's another episode of Customer Connections, where we reach out and talk with our customers and learn more about how they're using NAVA Pouch. Enjoy.
My name's Keith Olive. I live just outside of Yakima, Washington. I'm a retired middle school science teacher, and two of my main hobbies right now are playing music and woodworking.
That's right. That's right. And I imagine over this past year, you've had a lot of time, although you're retired. So I don't know if you necessarily have any more time than you did than a year ago, but for a lot of us other people, we aren't retired yet. We've been forced to kind of maybe look for other in-home hobbies, right?
Well, I've certainly had the luxury of time, but I can't say that I'm less busy than I was working. I don't know how I had time to work with all the stuff I do, but having the luxury to choose what you use your time with is really, really wonderful.
Yeah. And I just wanted to mention too that, for people that might watch this, you and I got connected. My younger sister is really good friends with your guys' daughter, and that's how we got connected. And as far as Yakima to where I live here in Seattle is a good drive distance. But I remember hearing about you and your farm and how you guys like to eat and live organic, and you guys grow as much of the stuff if you guys can grow as far as what you can put into your bodies. And I know that you were pro cannabis, right? So when you and I started talking a year ago, we had some of these similar conversations, and I'm always curious to know people's background and how cannabis or CBD plays a role in their life. So maybe you could share a little bit about that.
Well, it's interesting. The cannabis thing has been, I've used cannabis since I was, in my 20s, and that's a while ago, over 50 years. So, excuse me. I never got any benefit from alcohol besides feeling bad. And I tried alcohol, and I hardly ever use any at all now, but the cannabis seemed to do a much nicer thing for me. It was not as restrictive as alcohol was. It wasn't as dangerous, I don't think. But what I got from cannabis was a number of things. I got a creative freedom release for my brain. I was able to explore and enjoy different topics at a different level. I felt it was overall healthier for me. When I was younger, I smoked a lot more cannabis than I do now. I smoke just a little bit of straight cannabis now, but I don't know. To me, this is just anecdotal, but it feels so much safer and nicer for me and my body.
Yeah. So how does it play a role or in your kind of your daily or weekly ritual these days? What's a typical routine for you? When are you consuming it? Is it in the morning? Is it in the evening? Is it daytime or just the weekends? Or what's your ritual with it?
My normal pattern is to maybe smoke a bowl late in the evening and play a little guitar and relax and unwind for the night, and then go to bed. During the day, I tend not to smoke, not for any restrictive reason. I just don't find it's in my normal pattern.
Yeah.
Though I must say, you sent me some samples of a CBD product, different than the THC that we have. My wife and I, we have a medical card, so we're fortunate enough to grow fresh flower.
Yep.
And so we're careful with, like you say, we put up a lot of our food. We're pretty organic, and so we do the same thing with our flour. But the product and the tool that I got from you, this NAVA pouch,
yeah,
and the vaporizer, to me, smoking cannabis became almost like drinking wine. every wine has a different flavor. Every wine has a different effect. It has a different taste on your palate. And the same thing with cannabis. Well, then along with this, you developed some stuff for CBD products. And I had not used a whole lot of CBD except to make salves for pain. And my wife uses it regularly in the evenings for sleep. And the products you sent me 2 different ones to try out. And wow, this was really interesting to me. You caught me off guard on it.
Yeah.
One was one, and it's the uplift, and the other was the unwind CBD pouches. And you know, the beauty of them for me is this is that little prepackaged pouch where the fresh flower's already in here, ready to drop into the vaporizer. And what I found worked best for me was the uplift one.
Okay.
You know, on the uplift, I would use it during the day, right before I would go into the wood shop.
Yep.
I tried it before going in my wood shop because I wanted to see if it had effect. You know, does it really work? Well, this really worked. It gave my mind that artistic, creative venue that I really enjoy when I'm creating things in wood. But it gave me another level in it that I was really interested in. That was the safety factor. If you smoke just straight cannabis THC and you're around power tools with blades spinning at thousands of RPMs, you're setting yourself up for something, and it's not good.
Yeah.
So I believe in safety, really, I really do. So when I used the CBD product, I wasn't stoned.
Yeah, you're so functional.
Yeah, very fun. Yet I could feel that the wheels in my head, if you will, going, not from being stoned, but the feeling the nature of the CBD product. And I still had that same creative release, very artistic feeling for me is what it felt like.
Yeah.
Combined with the safety factor, I could go work in the shop and have all kinds of energy and buzz around the shop and get a lot of stuff done.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I told when we were talking earlier, and I mentioned is that from being somebody who would smoke cannabis 5-6 times a week to now, I don't think I've smoked it maybe in over a year, maybe other than if I'm just like testing a product or something. But as far as a daily ritual goes, I'm completely almost 100%, CBD hemp pouches, because like I said too earlier, it's like I'm not taking it to relieve chronic pain. Right. I'm a big believer that for somebody who has chronic pain, that they probably do need more THC. Maybe not everybody, but generally speaking, that seems to be what it is. But, when it comes to just relaxation or just uplifting your mood or just, getting a great night's sleep, I used to use it a lot for sleep. These things work, the CBD hemp flower is amazing. And I'm really excited because I think that there's just so many flower lovers that have not actually experimented with, consuming, premium quality hemp, because there's a lot of stuff out there that's just crap. So I'm actually glad to hear that, but that's kind of how I like to describe it too. You're able to consume it and be alert and focused, still have a very productive day, and still feel, somewhat fresh the next morning when you wake up early.
And another really nice thing about it is you get the freshness of the flower flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just the first hit, it's the 6th, the 7th, the 8th of the CBD product. Through the vaporizer doesn't give you that heavy heat of flame, propane driven and burning product. You just don't get that.
I remember when I sent you the first device like over a year ago. I asked you, what did you think about the difference between smoking flower, combusting it, right, versus dryer vaporizing it? And I don't remember if you recall what.
Oh, I do remember distinctly, because one, you don't have that heavy cough if you take too big a hit.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't. It'll expand in your lungs, and you'll know that you got a full hit, but you don't have that upper respiratory pain, if you will.
Yeah.
Because of that, and the vaporizers feel like a much cleaner, safer product to me, and it's very different than vaporizing oils, which I am not a proponent of, but it's just so much cleaner tasting. I guess that's the way it feels to me. It's easier on my body and on my lungs.
Yeah.
But nobody likes ingesting stuff into their lungs, and this is a whole different way of doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, I wanted to thank you, again for your time, and you know where to find me when you run out of pouches. So
Hey, thank you, Michael. It's been a real pleasure talking with you and working through with this and hearing about your growth of your business on this. I think it's a really good deal.
you bet. I appreciate all your feedback.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, take care.